Okay, hey guys.
Hey.
So how many of you already know what college you're going to? Nice. Where are you going?
I'm going to Temple.
Temple?
TCU.
Cool. Dom,
I don't know yet.
have you gotten in anywhere?
Yeah, I've gone into 3 schools. I got into Indiana, Quinnipiac, and Hofstra. They're my 3 safety schools. I got denied for my ED. I applied to Syracuse, to the new House School of Communication. I got denied from there, but I got deferred from Elon, so that's my number 1 choice right now.
How did you find out what schools you wanted to apply to? All of you guys, but Dom, you can start.
Well, for me, it was about communications. So obviously, being on NCTV, I wanted to pursue, a sort of a major in journalism and communications. So, obviously, I looked at the best schools, and Syracuse was the best. Obviously, I didn't get in, but Elon is probably 3rd best in the nation right now. So that's also a good school, and if I don't get into Elon, I always have Indiana. And Indiana is also a very good program. So that's kind of how I filter schools.
That's great. Ryan, how about you? How'd you decide?
I kind of ended up with a short list right from the beginning because I wanted to pursue rowing, and it's one of my biggest challenges in life, but also something I enjoy thriving in. So there were only a certain amount of schools I could really look at that would be able to maintain competitiveness. But then I would also look at 1 or 2 that maybe, hey, I don't row and just go there for school.
Cool. Are rowing schools typically, where are they typically located? Did that change your geographic where you wanted to go? Or?
Well, it becomes a little bit more difficult for me because I have to look at something called lightweight rowing, which is a restrictive no higher than 160, and that's mainly Ivy League schools plus 3 or 4 others. So I knew I wasn't going to get into an Ivy League, so I mainly focused on the 2 of the 4 others that offered lightweight, and then I would look at a couple other D3s and then some club and some that were not.
So was Temple one of the lightweight ones, one of the top 2 that you looked at?
Yeah, so Temple was actually the only one that's D1 that I got recruited to. Yeah.
When did the recruiting process start?
It actually started beginning of junior year, and that was actually really tough because I was in a really bad spot, and I didn't really know if I was going to get recruited, and it only really became a possibility this past summer, and then it actually took into full swing the fall season.
That's great. Congrats. Cassie, how did you decide what schools that you wanted to apply to?
Well, as bad as it sounds, I didn't want to go to a school that I hadn't heard of, which is weird for most people, but coming from New Canaan, I just wanted to be familiar with the location and some of the people there, just because I'm not really good with change, I guess. But I also knew some locations or places that I wanted to be, so Boston and Texas were 2 big places that I would look at. And Texas, I actually went to summer camp there when I was younger, so that became a bigger option for me. And TCU is really popular in New Canaan, so
Yeah.
That's true. How many schools did you guys all wind up applying to? Ryan, I know you narrowed it down to 2, right?
I actually had it down to 7, but I only ended up applying to 3 because I found out so early where I was going.
That's awesome. How about you, Dom?
I actually applied to, I think, 8 or 9, and I've heard back from, I think, 6 of them. So, yeah.
That's great. Cass?
I had a longer list, but I heard back so soon from my ED school that I didn't apply to as many as I should have or could have. So I think I ended up applying to 7.
That's nice. Did you do all EA, you guys, or besides the ED? It was all EA, no regular?
Yeah.
That's nice. I wish I did EA.
My regular decisions were later, so I didn't have to apply to them after I heard back already.
That's really nice. How did it feel for you guys after you applied, waiting to hear back and seeing other people maybe get in and just kind of being stressed about that?
I think once you you submit your application at its deadline or before its deadline, you're not you're like kind of nervous but not very nervous. Like you get more nervous once they, you approach the time that they're gonna let you know if you got in or not. So like once, like, when it was like the day before, I got, really nervous, but they actually, Syracuse didn't end up giving us any responses till like a week later, which was really bad. So we were really just like stressing out for a while. But yeah, I think like when, as time passed, you get a little more nervous. So.
Yeah, definitely. How about you, Ryan?
I wasn't really too nervous at all, actually. It was just mainly focusing on what I needed to get done. I didn't really want to pay attention too much to like Facebook or what people were posting, just so I could stay focused on myself, and what happens.
It's true. Yeah. I definitely know that like waiting is difficult because I did all mostly regular. So I've only heard back from 2 schools. So what was I gonna say? So Cassie, how did it feel when you got into your top choice? Were you relieved? Did you like immediately take out all your other applications?
Well, when I found out, I was not doing much, and they actually told us like 2 weeks before the date they had told us, or the date that we thought we were going to hear back. And I heard from another girl in our town that she got in, so I immediately like checked my email, and it was really exciting, obviously, but relieving at the same time, because I knew that's where I wanted to be, and I was really happy when I toured and everything there, so it was just really exciting.
Yeah. So Cassie, I know that you want to go to a school with people that you recognize and that you're familiar with. How about you guys, Dom and Ryan? Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I definitely would, because I think that, when everyone does when everyone becomes a freshman in college, you just don't know anybody, and obviously, that's natural, and everyone goes through the same thing, but sometimes it's nice to have like a familiar face around, because it makes confronting people maybe a little easier, because it's like, you still know someone in the end. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely want to be, I wouldn't say, want a ton of people that I know. I would love to meet new people, because, that's one of the big things of college, but definitely, having like a couple people that isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
For me, it was a little bit different. Me and my sister were both alike. We wanted to be at schools that wasn't very popular for New Canaan. She actually goes to Indiana. She really likes it there. Yeah. I'm already close with a number of people, not just in New Canaan, but in like everywhere, like Darien, even on the other side of the country, that are even also going to the school that I'm going to. So I won't exactly be alone, because I just maintain a good friendship throughout the entire competition.
That's great.
I think it's also not easier, so to say, but when you have like a team, because you can bond with them.
I'm gonna be stuck with these guys for like 22 hours a week, so I think I'll be fine.
It's a crazy amount of time. Speaking of, are you guys considering rushing or pledging?
Yeah.
Definitely.
No.
Well, you basically
I can't. I can't. I already have one brotherhood. Can't commit to another.
Yeah, well, so my dad at Ohio State, he was an active at Kappa Sig. So, I don't know where I'm obviously going to go yet. Maybe it's Elon, hopefully it's Elon, maybe it's Indiana. But, I definitely plan on rushing a fraternity. I think that's, a huge, Greek life is a huge part of college, that if you can do it, then, definitely you should go for it. I mean, it's a great opportunity and it's lots of fun, so.
Yeah, especially if you're not going to do like club sports or something like that. It's like a good way to make friends, or like actual D1 sports. Cass, you want to rush?
Yeah, I'm pretty much.
Do you know anything here?
It's big in the South. So
Definitely
it's
true.
easier to make friends that way too.
Exactly.
Yeah. What are the weirdest or like hardest supplements that you guys had to answer for any of your schools?
We agreed on Elon.
Yeah, Elon University definitely has, like, it's not, I wouldn't say weird in a bad way, but kind of different, questions. Like, one of them was, like, if you had a food truck, what would you name it? and what would you serve? I said PJs, and I would serve peanut butter and jellies, which I thought was, creative. I don't remember the other ones, but
It was,
I remember
if
the
you
weird.
were on a show, what show would you be on and why?
Yeah.
And then it was what's
Your bucket
number one on your
list.
bucket list.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
just thought those were more creative
Yeah.
than traditional questions asking about
Yeah, 'cause,
why
like-
you want to major in whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of
exactly.
nice.
Because other colleges are there'll be very similar questions, just different words. It'll be who do you see yourself and how do you see yourself in 4 years, or what kind of person you're going to become. But I thought Elon was definitely more creative, on their approach. So
That's cool. Did you have to do supplements?
I started to fill out supplements for University of Delaware, but none of them were very hard. One of them that is usually very difficult is finding a way to describe yourself. That's usually the one I tend to struggle with the most, just because it's so difficult that if I actually want to describe myself, I have to use the correct words and can usually never do that very well. So that's
So how was the recruitment process a little bit different? Did you not really, do you think you stressed less or more?
a lot more because I was not very good at the beginning of junior year, but by the end of the junior year, I started to pick up the pace more, and my coach kept telling me hey, if you keep at this pace, you can become a possibility for recruitment. And come end of the summer, I was able to I ended up beating some collegiate crews, and at that point I felt it was hey, I can actually do this. So the difficult part was I had to continue the on land work, and that's the difficult part because erging is one of the toughest things you'll ever have to do. Don't ever do it.
What is it?
It's basically an indoor rowing machine. It simulates water rowing, but it sucks so much more. So that's what coaches look at. So
That's rough.
I was not very good at it, and that's why I was stressing more, because no coach wanted me.
But you ended up going D1.
Yes.
So,
This was the reason why I got recruited was because my coach called the Temple coach, telling him, hey, this guy is one of my best rowers and you'd be very lucky to have him. And eventually the coach called me later that night and was hey, I'm sorry that I wasn't really responding to you. I think you're a great rower and I would like to have you. So I put myself in the position, but coming from a recruit and telling a coach that I did this is one thing, but a coach saying it is a whole nother thing. So the fact that I got into college is partially because my coach was saying so much about me that I was good.
That's great.
That was stressful.
I bet. So for juniors or any underclassmen who are just kind of approaching this process, do you guys have any advice? I've heard from a lot of people start earlier.
Definitely. To all the juniors, definitely. I would say best course of action is definitely to do your college essay over summer break. I know that sounds like it sucks, and summer's a great time for relaxing and vacation, but the sooner you buckle down, a lot less stressful it gets, because people when I came in a senior year, I was oh my god, so even though I knew college applications were just beginning, I was oh it's over, once I hit second semester senior, I get to relax, first semester senior year is not going to be that hard. It was pretty hard. I think for me at least, the first semester senior year was harder than junior year. That's not going to be the same for everyone, but definitely I did that. I did all my college stuff early, and it saved me so much stress because there were people who were barely meeting deadlines. So definitely, start early. That's my advice.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely start early if you can, in really any way. If you don't even know what schools you want to go to, if you visit any school, it will help you figure out what you want to end up having at school, or campus-wise or academically. And as Dom said, definitely start early. It will definitely help having people edit it during the school year, when it's
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And definitely start touring early too. Start looking at schools
Yeah,
because
that's true.
you don't know what you like until you see the campus. Like, sure, you'll hear these big names and be like, oh, that school has like a nice sports team or like D1 sports team. That sounds fun, but you might visit it and not actually like the campus. So it's very important to find, a place that you like to be at because that's going to be where you're going for the next 4 years.
Yeah. The first distinction I made was I visited Boston College and Boston University. Boston College has like a campus, and it's kind of like a bus ride away from the city.
It's also like it's basically like its own territory.
Yeah, literally. And then BU, Boston University is like right there, like right in the city. That's the first thing I decided. I was like, I want a campus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought when I was
Yeah. And also a good thing for juniors is your English teachers are always there. I went to my English teacher and I had him edit my supplements and my essay, so that's like definitely use your teachers at the high school. That's definitely something I would say too. And the writing center for everything, not just college. Okay. So thank you, Cassie, Dom, and Ryan. From the Courant, I'm Jillian Augustine.
Okay.